Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. So impromptu. I had to do this because um, my country, Nigeria, is hi goodness. There's this serious issue going on in Nigeria. Some of you must have known already. Um, there's been ongoing protests in the country for a while now. NSAS protest. Um, Citizens are calling for an end to police brutality in the country, the brutalities that are being perpetrated by members of the Nigerian police unit called SARS, that is the Special Anti-Robbery Squad, the unit that was set up to tackle issues related to crime, armed robbery. I'm trying to get my thoughts together from armed robbery, kidnapping, and other, armed crimes in the country. These people have been killing people with reckless abandon. Extrajudicial killings have been going on in this country for a long time now. Recently, there was a video that was posted to social media where some SARS officers dragged two Nigerians out of a car and then shot at them. So that sparked the general outrage in the country. Ever since then, about 10 days ago, people have been protesting, calling for an end to police brutality. That have been bringing you videos. As I speak with you right now, Nigeria, my country, is on fire. The country is bleeding. Um, some some thugs have hijacked the protests. The protests have been very peaceful in the country. I've been bringing you videos you've been seeing, very peaceful. Demonstrators, citizens have been demonstrating very peacefully, unarmed, converging on specific places in the country, across the country, different states, just protesting. And they made 5 demands that they needed the government to address. Now, just this week, the weekend leading to this week, the Nigerian army had before now issued a subtle like a subtle threat, so to say, saying their allegiance is to the president of the Federal Republic, and they are committed to ensuring that there's peace in the country, and any chaos or anarchies will not be tolerated. Nigerians have been asking that these killer cops should be apprehended, should be tried, and justice should be served, and all of that. But the government actually said they were going to take those demands into consideration and work on them. But citizens have been saying they want concrete action, not lip service, because the government has several times said they are going to disband SARS, but they didn't do that. They only paid lip service. So citizens have lost trust in the government. Like I said, the weekend leading to this week, some thugs allegedly hired by the government hijacked the protest and started attacking unarmed peaceful protesters across the country. In Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, thugs hijacked the protest. They set cars of protesters on fire. So protesters parked their car in a certain place before they set out on the peaceful protest. Those people went to that car park, set over 200 cars ablaze, and those cars were gutted down. We've seen several images, several videos on social media this evening where some alleged government some persons working for the government have in buses, in cars, came to drop and pick up those hired dogs who have been hired to hijack the protest and make it seem like the NSAS protesters are the ones causing chaos in the country. In Edo State, like I don't know if I brought you that video. In Edo State, we got the news yesterday that NSAS protesters broke into a prison in Edo State in Benin City and set the prison inmates free. a claim that so many Nigerians are doubting, because the security at the prisons is usually very, very tight. Even the protocol for visitors to even gain access to visit the inmates is usually very like is the protocol is very stringent. So a lot of people have doubted that. People are alleging that the government has probably staged that just to cast the NSAS protest in a negative light, in a violent light. So as a result of that jailbreak, the government of Edo State declared a curfew in Edo State. Today we saw escalation of violence across Lagos State. As a result of that, the Lagos State governor declared a curfew, that there's going to be a curfew from 4 p.m. today, 24 hours curfew beginning from 4 p.m. Today. So protesters have been converging at Lekki toll gate. Lekki is an area in Lagos State, on the Lagos Island. So the Lekki toll gate is where the NSAS protesters have been converging, peacefully demonstrating and making their request, declaring their request and demanding that government should hear them and take action. So today, this evening, we saw excuse me, I'm trying to put my thoughts together. It's so overwhelming. We saw a picture that was posted to social media where uh, um, some persons were seen removing the CCTV cameras at the Lekki toll gate. People were really concerned that why they removing the security cameras, the CCTV cameras at the toll gate. So just this evening, a while ago, we got the reports that there was total blackout at the Lekki toll gate. They turned off the street lights, and then Nigerian army troops drove into that place in their numbers, several cars, and just opened fire on peaceful, unarmed protesters. And what really got me so emotional this evening, when this curfew was declared, for those of you who do not live in Lagos, you might not understand. The traffic in Lagos is usually very, very heavy. Like sometimes you could get stuck in traffic for hours on end. You find it very difficult to go home. So the governor of Lagos State made this announcement around past 12 to 1 there about the curfew announcement. So these peaceful protesters said they are going to converge and remain at the toll gates. They are not going to move since they are peaceful. They are not breaking any law. Protesting is a legal right, is their constitutional right. So they are not moving. They are going to be there for the next 24 hours until the curfew elapses. This evening, as at about 4:40 p.m., they were singing the national anthem, waving the national flag, and that's a sign of allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It wasn't a violation of any law. It wasn't a violation whatsoever. So just this evening, as the nightfall, as I speak with you now, is 8:54, so meaning to 9 p.m. Before now, the Nigerian army personnel stormed that place and opened fire on peaceful protesters at that place. And the reports we've gotten is so far about 7 people have been killed already, unarmed Nigerians, demanding that the government should call the security personnel, the security unit that has been set up to protect citizens, has been killing citizens. Citizens are demanding that the government should call them to order, should address the brutalities that people have experienced in the hands of these SAS officers. Then instead of responding in um, a most dignified manner that any sane government would do, the Nigerian government has allegedly sent Nigerian army personnel to kill on armed protesters. Guys, how um Farm, I'm back. Sorry about that. Farm, I'm back. So sorry about that. My friend called to check up on me to know if I was safe. And then she was just giving me updates about the situation in Kano. Kano is also a state in Nigeria. The same killings by the Nigerian army. So this thing is happening. It's so terrible. The images are so gory. I can't even make videos and put those clips in it to share with you on social media or on YouTube here. But if you go to social media on Twitter, you are going to see a lot of these gory images, the exact thing that is happening in this country. Please, people, I'm begging you, join us in this. There's a picture I put up on my community tab. Look that picture up. That's the picture that was taken of one of the people that was killed at the Lekki toll gate with the Nigerian flag splashed with blood on it. That's exactly how they shot at him. Please put it. We have these hashtags trending now. Hashtag genocide, hashtag end police brutality Nigeria now, hashtag um based on what? Please just join us, help us. That picture I put on my community tab, please get that picture, tweet it on Twitter, tag the International Criminal Court, tag the United Nations, just tag everyone you know that you can tag. The international community needs to see this, because these are clear cases of crimes against humanity. You cannot be shooting at unarmed protesters and killing them in their country for airing their grievances. People who were unarmed in a particular location. First of all, they removed the security cameras. They're the CCTV cameras. They removed them allegedly, and then the security lights were turned off, and then when it was dark, the Nigerian army stormed that place and started shooting at unarmed protesters. Guys, this is not this. The images are gory. The images are gory. Ever since this whole incident started, a lot of people have not. The truth is, we are all affected. You know, I know what has made the government to react in this way is because the protesters have camped there. I was there as well. They've camped there for about 10 days and counting now. And because that toll gate generates a huge revenue for the government on a daily basis, that revenue, that stream of revenue has been disrupted since the protesters camped there. As of today, and let me see the total amount that the government has allegedly lost to as a result of this protest. I'm trying to call up that figure. That's why they are reacting in this manner. That's why they are reacting in this manner. Please help us. Tweet that picture. Tweet that picture, please, and tag the International Criminal Court. Everyone is calling the United Nations. This, guys, the people, my friend just called me and I spoke with her on phone. She told me that the killing, the number of people that they've killed in Kano State is disheartening. And at Lekki toll gate, I'm just seeing tweets from people who are still around that area that the army has cordoned that area. They won't let anyone go there. Ambulances can't get there to help people who have been shot, that need to be rushed to the hospital. Ambulances can't get there because the military has cordoned that place, and they are hiding corpses of people so that people can't see. They will not be able to put it on social media. Please, fam, just tweet. Take a second, tweet that picture. Tag the International Criminal Court. Tag the United Nations. This is serious. I'm not even kidding you, fam. I'm not kidding you. All my life, I've not seen something as terrible as this. I've not. So that's what is happening. We saw a lot of videos that were posted on social media. This is one of the pictures. This is on my Instagram. that I posted it. This is what I'm talking about. One of the protesters that was shot. If you look carefully, you might see his face. You know, you might see his face there with his mouth open. That is what Nigerian government is doing, that the world needs to see. This is totally unacceptable. You cannot release the army to go shooting at unarmed protesters for demanding justice and accountability for brutalities that the Nigerian police have committed against people. Countless people have had experiences with SARS. Family members have been killed. Parents have been left to mourn children. You know, it's so bad. People who are able to survive their encounters with SARS live to tell very sorry stories. This is unacceptable, and all the citizens were demanding is, please stop killing us. Call these killer cops to order, prosecute them and charge them, pay compensation, reform the Nigerian police. These were some of the demands that these people were protesters were making. And then you send the military to kill unarmed protesters. Let me show you some of these things. I can't put them on on YouTube, but let me see if I can just share some pictures with you. It's so painful, fam. It's so painful. And then after shooting at unarmed protesters this evening, the Lagos State governor just made a tweet again saying that the enforcement of the 24-hour curfew starting from 4 p.m. Should not start until 9 p.m. This is 9:05 p.m. to enable people who are stuck in traffic to get home. This is after unarmed protesters have been shot at Lekki toll gate. These are some of the things you are seeing on the streets of Nigeria. These are some of the things happening on the streets of this country. I'm going to show you more. This is a video. You see, it's so gory. They had to censor it on this blog. This is the Lekki toll gate. The noise you can hear. Sit down. Can you hear that? That is what is happening at Lekki toll gate. That's the Nigerian army. That's the Nigerian army shooting at unarmed protesters at Lekki toll gate. This was earlier today. A bus. That's a bus. Can you guys see? Oh, you can't see? Can you see now? Look at him. See them. Look at them. So those are the things that are happening. Yes, this was the picture. Can you see the picture that was posted of when they were removing the CCTV cameras at Lekki toll gate this evening? This is it. When they were removing the security cameras. Shortly after that. Security people supporting the talk. See them. These were the people who came to pick up the thugs after they had finished causing havoc and mayhem. Oh, they said they can't see. You can't see. Just go to social. When you go to Instagram, you check Gossip Mill Niger. Let me drop their handle here. You are going to see all of these images that I'm trying to show you. That's the Instagram handle. When you go click on it, you are going to see what I'm telling you. I've pinned it. That's their Instagram handle. Just click on it. If you are with your phone, click on it. You see, you are going to see the images are too gory. YouTube might not let me upload them on YouTube because they censor some of these things, especially things that have to do with violence. And so, but that's the Instagram handle of the blog that is uploading all those video clips, that once you click on it, you are going to see all of the things I'm telling you. It is as serious as you can as you can imagine. Then this is a Nigerian politician who today called a press conference, and he declared that he has sued Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter, uh, for supporting the NSAS protest. He has sued him, demanding a lawsuit of $1 billion that he should pay to the government of Nigeria for supporting NSAS protest. I mean, this is a serious war, fam. From every indication, we are up against a government that is not being, that is not ready to be accountable. It's serious. It's a serious war, but we are hopeful that we are going to come out victorious at the end of the day, because we have had enough. Citizens have had enough. We have had enough of brutalities from the police. A lot of stories. If you go to the protest ground, a lot of stories that are shared by people, stories of their encounters with SARS, are simply just heartbreaking. Just listening to the stories, I've had, this, my mind has been in a state where I really can't even explain right now. I feel so terrible. I feel so bad. There's no way you'll be in a country like this and these things are happening and you will not be affected, no matter how strong you are. No matter how strong you are, there's no way you'll not be affected by the happenings in this country. People have had enough. And what breaks my heart is the fact that these people, are unarmed. These are unarmed protesters who are demanding for justice and accountability. These are the same people that the government has sent the military to shoot at. Fam, this is someone is asking if I'm crying. I've been crying since all day. I've been crying all day. This is heartbreaking. You can't be in a situation such as this and there's no way you'll not be heartbroken by the happenings in this country. All that people are demanding is just simple. We want better. We want to feel safe. We want to be protected by the security outfit or organization that Constitution has empowered to secure lives and property, not to kill people. The extrajudicial killings that people have complained about, not to extort people. That's all people are demanding for, and everyone is unarmed. That is what you need to understand. These are unarmed protesters. They're not even armed. They're not breaking the law. And then the way the government can respond is by sending military personnel to kill people. I mean, as at the time that this report was sent in, over 7 people were killed, and those are the numbers that were able to be counted. Nobody knows how many more, because there were thousands of protesters at the Lekki toll gate. I was there the other day. I brought you the video. It's on my channel there. Thousands of protesters at that location. So just imagine that the Nigerian army just stormed that place this evening and then opened fire at unarmed civilians. Guys, this is simply heartbreaking. I can't. Someone is saying this is not about protest. This is European Chinese war against you. You have to end dictatorship, my friend. So no bad dictator comes in power. That is what youth have said. Youth are fed up, and everybody is saying everybody is saying the same thing, that this is totally unacceptable. This is unacceptable. People need better. The country deserves better, right? There's so much blood on the land. Take good care of yourself. Yeah, quick. Thank you. I've not been myself because you can't even how can you even be able to go about your daily life, your daily activities, live a normal life when you know that there's chaos everywhere, people are being brutalized, the streets are not safe. And this evening, today this morning, we got the news that some those so allegedly government sponsored thugs went to a police station here in Lagos and burnt down that police station, and about two police officers were killed. So on my way back home, I saw some police officers armed and stood on the road. I was so scared, like I felt like they were just going to probably open fire and start shooting at innocent civilians. It's just so much fear uh, all over the place. I mean, how can the world treat us as Nigerians? How can they treat us with respect when even our own leaders do not have regard for our lives? These are the issues, these are the questions, and these are the things that we are asking that the government should look into and address. What pains the most is that these protesters, these people who are demanding for better, are people who have no one, like children of poor people, children of less privileged Nigerians, who probably can you still hear me? I don't know why the link, someone is asking for the link. Yeah, I've dropped the link there. These are citizens. I saw a video this evening of a Nigerian. He said he's in his 40s now, yet he has nothing to show for, and he has a son. He asked that, is this what the son is going to inherit? Nothing from him. Is the son going to inherit poverty and hardship from him? That's why he's protesting. That's why. And then the worst of all is that police are killing people indiscriminately. There's a particular former uh, now I've just seen here ambulances have arrived at the Lekki toll gate, but they are not being allowed to get through. So you see that these things happening are there's no way these things will be happening, and the government is here, and the government, you know, is not taking action, decisive actions. It's so heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. Ha. that both ends of Lekki toll gate have been set on fire. No one can escape. Goodness. My God. Yes, I have two people who have joined me. Yes, sit down here. Sit down here. The evidence. Sit down. That's evidence. Yes, I don't see him. I don't see him. I don't record him. Yes. I don't record him. See? Everybody look down there. Fire! They've set both sides of Lekki toll gate on fire. So on both ends now, people can't run. Like you can't, if you decide to run from this end, there's fire. If you decide to run from the other end, there's fire. So is the plot to burn people there or what? Yes, I don't see him. I don't see him. I don't record him. Yes. I don't record him. Please, everybody. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, brother Nice, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Sister Grace. How are you?
Please, can you speak up? I can't hear you. Fine.
Yeah. Good evening. Are you hearing me now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I listened to what you have been saying, so I just want to say you have to be strong. Don't cry anymore. You understand? This is the price they pay for. This is the price they pay for revolution. When the country is about to change for the betterment, so this will happen. A lot of blood will be shed. So the only thing I will just say is that the people that is protesting, they need to be very very. They need to try to be vigilant and try to look for a way to secure themselves. You understand? They don't need to stay in a place that is exposed to attack. They need to stay in a place that is not exposed to attack. That place they are, and they need to move away from that toll gate. You understand? Because that place is exposed to a lot of attack. They can come through the back, they can come through the front. So they need to move away from there. So
all right.
Yeah, and I'm in Nigeria. You understand? I speak. Even me myself, I don't know what to say. I'm speechless because I've been following this protest since it start. Since the starting of this protest, I've been following this protest. So I'll be praying that it will not get to this situation that it is now. This is what I've been praying for since then. So unfortunately, what I've been praying for not to happen, it still happened. And the thing that happened is that the protests were very peaceful at the beginning. So what the politicians now do, because they know that they cannot use the military against the peaceful protest, and they know that the protest is very powerful, and that protest, it has the capacity to break down the administrative, the government. So what they now do, they know, because it's against the military and the police. So they now try to infiltrate the peaceful protest with talks, the politician. So the protests now have been hijacked by the politicians. You understand? So the only thing they have to do now, they have to try and organize themselves for self-defense. That's what they have to do now. And people should not just go for protest sake now, because anything can happen. Even people among you can even do harm to anybody. You understand? So anytime anyone that is going out now, you see the way they do it in America. Some of them went to shops to buy military protesters. They go for this thing, for defense this thing suit. Some of them buy this thing complete overall suit. You know, some of them you buy weapons, some of them buy different kind of equipment. So people should not just go for protest sick now without protecting yourself. It's very dangerous now. This is the place. This is the moment they have been waiting for. All these leaders. They have been waiting for them to capture this protest, so that they will turn it to a war zone. You understand? And I still pray that it's not going to get worse than this, because it's still going to get worse than this. And this is just the beginning. You understand? When he moved from protest now to riot, oh Lord. When we move from protest now to riot, do you know the time of Babangida must go? You remember the time of when the riot of Babangida must leave? You understand? It's going to turn to such riots.
Remember.
Okay, so that is, if what I'm trying to say is that anybody that want to go to that place now, that place is very dangerous now. If you want to go there, you need to be very well equipped. Don't just go for a protest sake now. It's not peaceful as it is at the beginning.
So hold on. So you remember what happened during the Babangida must go protest?
I was there.
You are saying that people should go out now. What good did that do Nigeria?
Bro, we
lost almost a whole decade.
Let me tell you. There is no time. Listen, there is no okay. What you are saying, that they should back down, right? They should back out.
They've gotten almost everything they've wanted. They've started setting up committees. They've started setting up this thing. They dissolve SARS. What else do you want? Do you want the president's head on the table? The president are we living in here?
Brother, the way you speak now, you speak that. Let me tell you, you don't speak as a person that really have the mind to liberate that country. You understand?
You are not liberating it. You are handing it over to them. That's my point.
Let me tell you, brother. Let me tell you. This government, they're not ready to do anything. All those things that you said now, they are just promised. There will not be any action that will back it up.
So you want to Syria?
Let me tell you.
Sudan, Mali. Is that the solution you want to prescribe?
Bro, let me tell you.
You know what you're talking about.
Let me tell you that if they push hard, it will lead to instant action. These people will start taking action. First of all, if that government, if they are really serious, to do what the people ask them, IG, what is he doing there? The president is supposed to sign the IG first.
Tell me one country where this has worked for. Tell me one.
Bro, I'm telling you, that's why I'm saying it, that
you have to learn.
You don't see what I'm saying. What you are trying to say is that the way it used to be, when they just promise them, all of them will go inside they will relax. That is what you are saying.
No,
you don't have to be scared when they come to revolution to change the nation.
Let me tell you, it's not about being scared. It's just about being pragmatic. The truth is, those people that are protesting today, they can also vote. They've all gained consciousness now. They've all gotten something. You see, all they've gained will be lost. If this carries on, we will not remember whether they banned SWAT. We will not remember anything. All we'll remember is the bloodshed.
Bro, they did not ban any sword. They did not ban nothing.
To Niger, please. I understand your sentiments. I understand Brother Nice's sentiments as well. But there's no justification whatsoever for the government to have sent the military to open fire at unarmed Nigerians.
That's the kind of government you are telling me about.
Hold on. Where did you get that the government actually ordered them to shoot?
Nigeria, you are speaking because you are not in the country. That's why you can come up and say what you are saying. There's no justification whatsoever for the government to send the military to open fire, to kill
do you have any evidence of that? You have to be careful what you're saying.
Any arms.
Do you have evidence of a government official ordering the military to shoot civilians? You can't come online and be saying
people who are shooting there.
You don't know them.
The people shooting there.
These are the forces I've been telling you about.
People in Nigerian army uniform.
What did I tell you last?
So you see, these are the issues that we have in this country. Honestly,
Grace, that to Niger, that guy is very, the way he used to talk. I speak with him before. That guy is, I don't know where he's from. I don't think that guy is in Nigeria. You understand? That guy make me angry every time. So those people will share people's blood for just no reason. So those people will just share, they will just kill people for no reason. That boy, I don't. If that guy is, if that guy is where I am now, as I'm angry now, I will slap that guy.
No, don't use threats, brother. Nice, don't use threats. The thing is that this is what is happening. It has happened. Unarmed protesters at Lekki toll gate were opened fire at, allegedly by the Nigerian army, and they've cordoned that area now.
Grace,
People
let me
have-
tell you.
That is
Grace, let me
what
tell
is
you.
happening.
I'm from Edo.
People
I'm from
are
Edo State.
unarmed.
Grace, I'm from Edo State. We lost almost about 3 Edo people now that have died because of this thing. Then you will tell me that nothing happened. People have paid. Some people are in the hospital now in Edo State. Those people that are still in hospital, they are saying that they are in deep. Some of them, we don't even know if they will survive. And those people still said that they are still encouraging people to continue the protest in the hospital bed. That they should continue. They should not back down.
Let's be factual here. See, we have passion.
I
was in Nigeria
to Nigeria. Then you are not telling me that if is a story that people did not die. Oh no. I'm from Edo State. I know many Edo people that is in hospital
this whole
now.
thing is fishy. This evening there was a picture. I just showed you that picture that they took of some persons who went there with the LCC, the Lekki whatever the name of that company, jacket, removing the CCTV cameras from the Lekki toll gate. The next thing we saw was that the lights, the street lights there were turned off. Then when it was dark, these people stormed there and started firing. And remember, the government had announced earlier, late last week, that they were going to dispatch Nigerian army officers or to all the states in the country for their nationwide what do you call it, Operation Crocodile Smile operation, which is something that they allegedly do every year. So these are the same people. Reports from the Lekki scene where the whole incident is happening.
I was part of the protest that protested against.
Shooting at unarmed protesters there.
Hi.
Okay, hold on. Let me just make one quick statement.
Yes,
I was part of the protest that protested against Babangida during the 1990s too. I saw what happened to the country, and I was in Nigeria throughout the period when Abacha was in office. What Nigeria went throughout that period that led to the democracy that we have now. And what people don't understand is when these things happen, I said this last week, I think this is why sometimes we have to recognize when somebody is telling you the truth. I said this last week before it got ugly, that people are going to hijack this because you know what? It's very simple, really. Just look around the world. It happens all the time. It happened in Sudan. It happened in Mali. It happened in Libya. It happened in Syria. It happens. Poor countries don't have the luxury of carrying on protests like this without entities coming in to foment trouble for the country. Rich countries can get away with it, like China, Hong Kong last year, 6 months or to almost 1 year, they had a protest, they get away with it. The US, they do that. But if you're a poor country, especially in Africa, that we know we are under target constantly, we can't afford this type of vulnerability. And that's what I wondered about last week, that this was going to come to pass. If anybody wants to check it, they should check it. Because it's not rocket science. Just look at the world. That is what happens. And when people keep saying our own case is going to be different, that doesn't bear to the results we've seen in recent past at all. Thank you.
Hi, Salama.
Hi, Rachel.
I just want to say, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
I'm sorry you're in such distress. And, I just pray that, we'll give you some comfort, sis.
Thank
I don't know enough about the intricate, intimate politics of Nigeria, but what I do know is that this is happening everywhere right now. And this is a typical strategy, as the brother was saying, in Africa. I don't agree. It happens in America. The Black Lives Matter protests are all about a fake group called Black Lives Matter trying to hijack the whole narrative for the African diaspora in America and in Canada and in Britain, everywhere. They always do the same thing: problem, reaction, solution. They come in, they create a movement. Even Dr. Mumbi was saying that she thought that this was a false flag. So it's important in your country for you guys to understand the strategy. 400 years is over. You guys are largely a Bantus people. This is not about race. It's about who you are as a people. And Europe and China and America are trying to, the 400 years is over. The captivity spiritually is over. The countries are all being handed back to the Bantus people. But this is a strategy to rope you into war. This is confusion being created, and they're trying to make you war against one another. And there are people who will always be against you. But it's important to understand that this is the usual formula of problem, reaction, solution. Okay? And so what this brother is saying here is, don't get caught up in all the smoke screens. Realize that this is going to be a strategy of your enemy in Europe, or your homegrown enemies. I'm going to call them what they are, Esau, to regain control in Nigeria, because they're about to lose it, because in the spirit realm, it's gone. You guys get that nation back. That's why there was this is going to sound like I'm coming from a spiritual and prophetic approach according to what scripture says. The reason why you guys had that meteor fall in Nigeria was because there was a spiritual stronghold that fell down, that is gone. And you guys now are in position spiritually to take your nation back. And the world, the Europeans, the Americans are trying to get control over it using their same, they go into every single nation in Africa and they destabilize them, just like they do in the ghetto through the culture in North America and Britain. They hire boulets, they hire mammies and coons to trumpet a particular point of view, and they sell it to you and you eat it. They just do the same formula in Africa, but they use different names. They bring in the Fulani, or they bring in the Islamists, and they get to be your leaders. And then they say, well, we're all black, we're all one family. That's not necessarily true, because the Fulani are also the French, and they're also the Americans. They literally take, there's a brother from your region who's done a lot of videos on this. They literally take all your money that you get from Europe, and they take it, the cash, to American banks. Because this is not about race, it's about who you are as a people group. And spiritually, you guys are getting your empire back right now. And they are grasping and scratching with the same strategies. So they're creating chaos. That's what they do everywhere in Africa. They do that with the African Americans. They do that in the West Indies. Police and thieves in the streets. There's supposed to be a drug trade there, but marijuana is legal in the West Indies. What it is it's a chaos strategy that keeps them in control. And so World War II is about to start.
There was also a story. There was also a story last week that the Nigerian government is moving to legalize marijuana in the country.
Yeah.
While this protest was going. That's about last week.
Yeah, that's a sidebar. It's just important to recognize what's happening and don't fall into it. Remember last time? There was the Nigerian embassy got blown up in Ghana, and you guys were like, why are the people in Ghana attack? It was another strategy. They wanted you to war with Ghana because they don't want you to unify, because you're the same people. You're a Bantu
Exactly.
people.
This is why Nigeria has been playing it smart all this while. I said it to my Ghanaian friend, and I keep saying it, and they don't seem to get it. that this is exactly what is happening. Now, Africa, we are moving in the right direction right now. Things are going in January, the African Free Trade Area is supposed to come online. And this is happening now.
Yeah, it's a strategy. Don't fall for it. And you're being helped in the spirit realm too. You're being helped by the creator. So don't fall for it. And don't, like, I know you're getting emotional. I don't know what's going to happen when things really go down here in North America, because they're about to go down in November. So I don't know. I'm probably be crazier than you when it goes down here. But try to keep your head. Because your people are looking to you, my dear, as a leader.
Hello, to Niger. Brother.
All right, thank you.
Hello,
yeah,
yes.
Brother Knight.
Yeah, I want to try to speak to you because you are Nigerian like me. You understand? I respect your opinion, and you have the right to your opinion. You understand? But
Yeah.
this issue, you need to choose the word you use because it's very sensitive. You understand? Yeah. So, like me, if I want to say anything, especially when it concerns my fellow sister, my brothers and sisters in the continent, I have to choose my words carefully. So we don't need to mix things together. That what happened in Ghana, it has nothing to do with this one that is happening now. We are trying to ask for what belongs to us because Nigerians are suffering. You understand? We have not seen this kind of suffering in a decade. This man inflates Nigeria with poverty. This administration, this president. You understand? So the people are tired. The people are tired.
Okay. Let me explain something to you. Do you know why Nigerians are feeling the heat right now? One, by the time he came into office, the price of crude oil, which Nigeria uses to get oil, where Nigeria gets a lot of its foreign income from, crashed by over 70%. Then there's COVID-19 on top of it. Do you know how many things?
Okay. You listen. This is where I said I disagree with you. Before COVID-19, Nigeria have been suffering since this man came into power.
I said when he came into office, it's a
so
fact.
Don't use COVID-19 as an excuse.
No, but it's happening just after. See,
so Nigeria have been suffering since 2015. That this man came.
Forever. We have been suffering since 1990s, since the 80s.
Brother, let me tell you.
I know that.
Let me tell you, in the regime of Goodluck Jonathan, Nigeria have been living better than this.
True.
Yes, money we are circulating.
So
money we are circulating.
For me, the thing here is me in person, as a person. It's not really about the conditions of Nigerians as far as welfare or living conditions are concerned, or the government's performance. My own concern has been just strictly the SARS issue that people have been complaining and asking the government to address. Because if you listen to the stories of people's encounters with SARS, it's really terrible. There's a story of this particular former DPO who has now allegedly retired. That was the SARS commander in, I think, Anambra State. How there are several allegations against him of extrajudicial killings. He would just they will arrest citizens indiscriminately and then kill them and dump their bodies in a particular river in that Akuzu. They call that place Akuzu in Anambra State. So people have really just been outraged by this.
All over the state. This thing is happening all over the state, and the government turned blind eye to it.
Even when I went to Calabar, there was that NSAS protest there. People. I asked that. So even in Calabar, you guys have these issues of SARS? They said yes. Like it's everywhere. The taxi driver, the taxified driver that was driving me to where I was going to, actually confirmed that he also had personal encounter with them, and it wasn't funny. So just a lot of these stories that people have, of their encounters with SARS, that people started demanding that no, end SARS. This is not the first time the government has agreed that they are going to end SARS. This is about the fourth time or so that the government has has said they are going to end SARS, even though it's usually lip service, because at the end of the day, you still see these SARS officers on the street. So still extorting Nigerians, committing extrajudicial killings and all of those human rights violations. So those are the things that really got people mad. And the straw that broke the camel's back was a video of allegedly of SARS officers pulling two young Nigerians out of a car, I think a car or a room or so, and then they shot at them, killing them like for no reason. So that was what really sparked the entire outrage in the country, that people started demanding for SARS to be ended, end SARS, end SARS. Yes, the government came out and said, okay, they are going to end SARS, but then they announced that today. The following day, they announced that a new unit has been set up, and that unit is SWAT, and they are going to train the SWAT. And people are saying, we don't want even SWAT, because we are not confident in you anymore, because you've lost our trust. You give us your word and then you go back on your word. So how are we sure that the persons you are going to put in this new unit SWAT are not the same officers who have been committing these atrocities against Nigerians? How are we sure that they are not the same people you are going to put in this new unit called SWAT, who are going to probably continue with these, heinous crimes that they've been committing against citizens and all, So that has been the whole thing. All that Nigerians wanted was this sort of accountability. They wanted transparency in the whole system. The SARS officers that were allegedly identified for committing some of these crimes against these people wanted to see them openly arrested and let the prosecution comment, all of those things. So there's just this whole thing. And then, from towards the end of last week to today, we started seeing armed thugs, hijacking the protest. Sometimes they won't go to places where the protest was not going on, and then they'll just start causing mayhem and all of those things in those locations. So those are the concerns and all. The NSAS protesters in particular, in Lagos, for instance, camp at particular places, which is the Lekki toll gate, and some at the Alausa, which is a Lagos State Secretariat, where all the state ministries and all are located. So that is where they've been camping, and they've been peaceful, unarmed and all. It is this allegedly government-sponsored talks, allegedly, what have been going about, because we've seen some of the videos that were posted to social media where some of these hired thugs were seen being driven in cars branded Nigerian police force. So how did they get access to Nigerian police cars to drive in to go and commit these crimes? We saw some videos of these allegedly hired thugs also being conveyed in some luxurious cars, SUVs, and all of those cars tinted all over after they have finished carrying out their violent acts in those several locations. We saw those cars. Those several of those images were and videos were posted to social media. So yes, it could. People can bring up, a lot of things and say, well, it is a foreign power somewhere that is sponsoring or anything. But for me personally, I feel like people's concerns are really genuine. I saw a video today of a man, a father, whose son was allegedly shot by these SARS officers and dumped at the police station. The video was there on social media, and he was begging to speak with his father before at least he dies. They told him, they insulted him, what stupid father, you're not going to speak to your father, da da da. And this guy bled there at the police station and died. So these are the things that are happening. The law of the wait, I've not finished. Hold on. The law of the country says that everyone is entitled to fair hearing. Even if you catch the person in the act of committing a crime, the person is entitled to fair hearing. You do not have the right to shoot the person. You are to arrest the person and let due process, the rule of law, have its course. Charge the person to court. Let the person be given a fair hearing in a court of law, and let the person be tried. And if the person is found guilty, proven beyond every reasonable doubt in a competent court of law in the country, then let the law have its course. These are the things that have clearly not been adhered to in the country, and that's why people are outraged. That's why people are angry. You cannot carry out extrajudicial killings, extortion. How will you stop somebody? You ask the person to go to the ATM and withdraw their money and give you, and you have a gun at them. By the laws of the country, that is robbery. That is robbery. That's why people are outraged.
Sis, I just want to ask you the question. Is this exact same thing happening to African Americans right now at the hands of police race soldiers? Is the exact same thing happening? Yes.
Well, I don't live in America. Okay.
We know with George Floyd. The same thing is also happening.
Yeah, with George Floyd, there was.
Yeah, the same thing is happening in Canada. There's several people who the police just broke into their homes, and one young man in Ottawa, he literally fell out the window, the police chasing after him. And they do it multiple times, these no-knock warranties in Canada. They're having the same violence in Britain. This is about a global warfare. They're trying to maintain control over the whole world. If we just keep this at a local level and we just keep it, the feelings are completely just and relevant, and your feelings, keep your feelings, keep expressing them, keep expressing your outrage. There's nothing wrong with that, and you've got to cry out. But a better strategy has to happen globally, understanding and making networks with your brothers and sisters around the world, because they're doing this to everybody right now with the same tactics. And if you get stuck locally, you're not going to be able to join hands when it happens to Ghana or another nation close to you, so that you can all work together to fight it. Because it's happening everywhere right now, in particular to a particular people.
That is so correct, because it's very, very hard, because everything she said just now is a true feeling of the frustrations that most Nigerians feel. And I feel all those things too. And like she said, maybe because I've been overseas and somewhat insulated from some of all these daily events Nigerians have to endure, it allows me, because when you're traumatized, you don't get to see so clearly. So yeah, because I'm a little bit withdrawn, I'm able to see the pieces being moved around. This movement started about a month ago. A friend of mine sent me a message, said, "What is going on in Nigeria? They are doing it. They've primed the social media for this. They prime the social media for this, and they use this as a weapon against countries." See, Grace, you see, I get your pain. I feel just as pained as you are. I'm one of those people that even when you criticize Nigeria once, I feel really crossed when people criticize Nigeria, because they don't know what we go through. So, but just try to keep the pain controlled and look at the events going on around the world. Look at all the countries that have done this. Have they come out better? Not one has come out better.
Okay, so but what's the solution? Is it that people should just, is it that Nigerians are expected as citizens to just keep quiet and let the police continue to brutalize, to extort, and commit these human rights violations to citizens?
There has to be some kind of global network, but also you have to know who you are. You have to know that is a particular people on this planet being persecuted. And you have to know you're the children of the Creator. You're being attacked by the entire world. This has been going on for 500 years and more. And this is the end of it. This is your opportunity to make a shift. And so there are strategies that I think are possible, and that is to join hands with your other people all over in the four corners of the earth and start to strategize. And other countries in Africa.
Let me say something.
Yes, go on.
Are you listening? Okay. I want to talk to Niger. To Niger, now you're not trying to now what you said now, you're not trying to cool me down. because the way you speak before, you did not speak as a compatriot of or a Nigerian citizen. You understand? But the last word you said now, that word comfort me a bit. You understand? This is this kind of thing you're supposed to say. Don't speak like as an outsider. The only thing we have to speak about now is to find a solution, a way out. If there's nothing wrong for the citizen to speak their mind, to complain to the authority what is happening around them. You understand? I can still remember vividly what happened to a Nigerian boy. This boy is a very handsome boy. This boy was living in South Africa during that xenophobia period where they were killing Nigerians in South Africa. This boy said, "Okay, I don't want to stay in South Africa, so I will not fall a victim." This guy left South Africa. He went to Nigeria because he's a musician. He said he wanted to go and do his music. Do you know that SARS killed this guy when this guy get to Nigeria? He ran away from death in South Africa. He get to Nigeria, SARS killed this guy.
When this protest started, there was a sister in Enugu State.
Yes, I am.
I put one of those pictures or videos up on my channel. This lady sat on the head of a lion, a lion's sculpture, and held the Nigerian flag up. She refused to fly the flag. Why? She had 3 brothers who were living abroad. These 3 brothers came to the country to visit, and these 3 brothers were killed by SARS officers in the same day. 3 brothers. You can just imagine that pain, that sorrow that a family is left to bear. She sat there crying, and that's just one of the countless stories. Brother Nice, continue.
So do you think that African Americans are feeling the same way right now, or going through the exact same thing right now?
Let me tell you what African American is passing through. It's not even up to this one that we are passing through now in Nigeria. Nigeria one is worse than that one they are passing through.
The exact same thing is happening in America, and
it's just that the media doesn't propagate Nigeria's own. That's the reason why. Nigerian one is far worse. Those one that those Black Lives Matter, they are the one that goes to confront the police. But Nigeria, you don't need to confront the police. Police will come and kill you. That's the difference.
Well, they do come and kill African Americans. You can be sleeping in a car and you'll get shot by 10 police officers. You can be in your home and they'll break into your home and shoot you 20 times. It is, and it's the same thing in Jamaica too.
No.
It's the same thing. I'm not diminishing. It's all terrible, but if we keep it on this emotional, local level and we don't see how perhaps the powers that be are going to use it for a larger global strategy for world power and world government, then you're going to be stuck in the same place.
This is not
stealing your power.
This is not local,
and this same system perpetuating.
Madam, this is not local. This is global problem. So as is happening in Nigeria, they are fighting it. It's still going to have an impact in America the same way. You understand? So anywhere they fight this kind of art, it has an impact around the world. So it's the thing that they need to.
Hold on. I see. You see, I think the way you see things, you are seeing things like what the lady is saying is just, man, it's so important that we get it correct. That is important, because the people that have this sight to see these things can see it coming a mile away, because we know how they play these games, and we have to recognize it. Don't even for 1 second think because Nigerians are fighting this is going to encourage anybody anywhere else, because it's never worked anywhere. Everywhere they try this, it always leads to either a military regime or a war. The only people that have the luxury
out in Nigeria
is in China.
Right. Sorry, brother. To Niger, we have King Mike News Network has joined us. Welcome, King Mike. Let's hear your take. Welcome. We'll rotate and then get back. If you can hear me, King Mike, let's have your take.
Thank you, froze. You all froze.
Can you all still hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, hello.
Okay, King Mike, you have the floor.
Well, first I'd like to thank you for letting me on the broadcast and shout out to all of you. I've been watching you build your channel all year too. And congratulations on that. And I'm sorry to hear about everything that's going on in the country, but I think what a lot of Africans need to realize that the African government has been selling out the continent since like the beginning. In America, we see a lot of things that I don't know if y'all get the chance to see, and we get the chance to research a lot of things that y'all may not be able to have access to. And we know that this has been a plan from the beginning, since the 6,000 year period that the Caucasian has been on the earth. They have always had a plan to exterminate the black race as a whole, and that's a fact. So pretty much what we dealing with now is it's like the end game. Like they're at their last stand because it was written that way. That's the way they wrote it. I don't want anybody to get lost in religion or to get tied up in any religion or put any trust in a extraterrestrial figure that you can't see right now. I want you to believe in yourself and strengthen yourself right now. Because that's really all you got to fall back on in these times is investing that strength and that belief and that spiritual power in yourself. We don't want it to go to a violent route, but unfortunately, that is the way that they plan for it to go. And we know laws are different in those foreign countries, and they don't allow the citizens to possess weapons. But weapons is a very important part when we dealing with this type of oppression worldwide. That's one of the main tactics of these governments is to seize the weapons from the citizens first. They take the weapons from the citizens first, and then they implement their rules and their laws to further oppress you. So when it's time for them to make their big move, they don't have to worry about the citizens being armed. And the reason why I say that is because a country that will allow you to have your weapons is a country that believes in all right for the people, rights for the people having their own individual rights. And that's one of the big debates in America right now. The Democrat Party in particular want to take our guns. And we know from watching what they did to the Jews is they took their guns and then they moved in and exterminated what they could. And the same government that did that to the Jews is the same government that runs America right now. That's historical fact. It's documented by the FBI. So what I will say is be prepared, with food. Everybody in Nigeria needs to come together right now. Like y'all need to come together. Try to put differences aside and work together. As many people that can work together needs to work together. Y'all need to pull resources together, find weapons, find food, protect the children. And yeah, because America's not too far behind y'all right now. They want to take our guns, and our president wants us to keep our guns. A lot of people might not like it, but a lot of black people believe that President Trump is the last thing in the country that's keeping us from breaking out into a full civil war. And if America falls, then the rest of the world will follow. If America is overthrown by a powerful demonic government, the rest of the world will follow. So everything is really riding on America right now. And I've been spending most of my year buying guns. I've been buying guns and bullets all year because I'm prepared for the worst with food and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I mentally prepared myself And what's going on in Nigeria right now, it might not be to the extreme, but I believe that the Nigerian government is trying to push it to that extreme. But the citizens of Nigeria need to take the time to give back a little bit resistance to show them it's not gonna be easy, and we're not gonna bow down. They want y'all to bow down to the government, and y'all cannot surrender to the government. By no means can you surrender to the government, because I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna let somebody else speak. Unfortunately, in the times that we grew up in, Black people have become their own worst enemy. And what I mean by that is a lot of Black people in high power more than likely sell out. They sell out to foreign governments and they surrender that power. So our own Black people can be our own enemy when they have that type of high power. And most of those presidents in Africa, on the continent, they need to go. Y'all need to run their asses out of office. And, you know, that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm going to let somebody else get a chance to speak. But it's nice to speak with you. And it's nice to see everybody else on here. And y'all just stay strong, and y'all need to come together. If I had the resources, I'd be over there dropping off crates of guns right now.
Okay, thanks for your contribution. Thank you so much. We have Jolly Rancher is here. Jolly, let's hear your take. So
How you
I'll
doing
mute the
today?
rest of you.
How you doing today? Do you hear me?
I can hear you. I'm fine,
Okay,
thank
yes,
you.
yes. Well, I'm from America, Mississippi, the South. I live in Gulfport, Mississippi, and yes, I understand what he's saying. We are in war, y'all. We are in war, and it ain't just us. It's all of us. It's all Black people. We all are in war. African Americans over here in America is scared for their life. I'm one of them. I'm saving money, trying to get up out of here. You know, they raising up the prices to get up out of here. Visa, passport, all that. Airplane tickets, everything. And you know, it's scary because we're used to everything over here. Like everything is just convenient. You know what I'm saying? We're not used to the struggle. We're used to the beatings, of course, but we are not used to the struggle. So African Americans over here thinking, okay, when we get over there, what we gonna do? How we gonna survive? You know, our life is so different over here. It's a culture shock. I have heard and have seen plenty of YouTube videos saying it's a culture shock. I also have seen on CBS News today. Listen to this. I seen on CBS News today in America that China and the United States is going to be buying Africa out. They trying to do it now. That's the only home we have, y'all. That's the only home we have. You know, and as much as I say, okay, I'm good. You know, I'm a truck driver over here. My husband's a truck driver. We own our own truck. We on the road right now. I'm good. But then I think about it. I turn around and think about it. I'm scared also. I want to get up out of here. We saving to get up out of here. But the scary thing about it is coming over there and not knowing how we're gonna survive. So that's what a lot of African Americans is scared of today. How we gonna survive when we get over there? How we gonna make it? There's plenty of jobs over here. China invested in a lot of jobs over here, and different other countries invest in a lot of jobs over here. They do trades and stuff. So we have plenty of jobs over here, and they gonna put the Black people to work those jobs. And it's a lot of money over there that we're making, but it's not a lot of money over here. You have to be an entrepreneur, or you have to went to college, or do a trade over here just to make plenty of money, plenty of good money to live comfortable. So the money that we're making over there over here and we bring it over there, it'll be gone. Then what people that ain't went to college or that's not entrepreneurs, don't know how to be entrepreneurs, what they gonna do? And so it's like, yeah, we scared of the police. We ready to go. You know what I'm saying? But then what we gonna do over there? Me and my husband are entrepreneurs. We're a truck driver. We own our own truck. But it's still scary. And then you try to get your family over there. Some of your family don't make money like you make. So what you supposed to tell them? When they get over there, I'm gonna take care of y'all too. So it's crazy. And I saw that on the news today, the CBS news today, and they said that China and USA is investing in a lot of jobs and stuff. If they come over there, and listen to me now, if they come over there and they invest in jobs over there, they're going to take it over. That's Esau race. We are Israel and we are Judah. And I'm going to tell you that because it's in the word. Everything that happened in the word, they said a stranger's going to come over there from Africa and they're going to get us and they're going to put chains about our neck. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to take over our kids and put us in the field and everything we work for ain't going to be ours. It's true. It happened. So you can't tell me that the word ain't true when it happened. Look at the hurricanes and the fire that's breaking out and stuff like that. I believe in God because I ain't going to believe in the devil. So it's one or the other. You either believe in good or you believe in bad. I believe in God. And I believe that we're Judah and we're Israel. So it's just like it's brutality over here. But what can we do? And then we see our own people, y'all. Our own people. Lord have mercy. Fighting each other on the YouTube. Taking out their frustration for what? So the enemy can come in and take control over what's out. Africa fought too dang on hard to keep what they got. And I said Africa. Because while we was over here getting beat to sleep, our ancestors getting beat to sleep, Africa was over there fighting for what they got. Because guess what? The white man came over there too. So they ain't just bring us over here. They came over there to take over what y'all got. So it's like when I see my people get into it over some nonsense, it's crazy.
All right. I understand your frustration, Jolly Rancher. Thank you. We have Ines. Ines has been up as well. Ines, welcome to the stream. Let's have your take.
Thank you. Hi everyone. I just want to say hi to everyone, and also I want to say, my heart goes to Nigeria, Congo, Zimbabwe, every country in Africa that are going through this horrific situation. One thing I wanted to say that we have to understand that the devil's working hard, but we as people, we have to work harder than the devil, because they're trying to destroy our race. They're doing everything, and I believe that some part of what's going on in Africa is also the devil. Which when I say the devil, I mean the Western country, the China. They're also part of it, and we as people, we need to take that. I'm sorry to swear, but I'm gonna say that bullshit mentality that everyone has our back, everyone's our friend, because as you can see, years, the history doesn't lie. They may lie in the books, but the book shows that they've never been our friend. We only have our own. We only have ourselves. So unity is the key. Unity is the one that will help us, will uplift us, and, we have to put our bullshit aside. Beefing ain't gonna solve anything. Beefing with people, beefing with other black folks ain't gonna solve nothing. And like one person said, our leaders are also, we need to put our pressure in those scumbags, mumu, like they say, those scumbags leaders, because they are not they are there for their own bellies, for their money. How can a leader get for the salary? He's getting 1 billion just for being a president, just for being a government. The salary, like, it's crazy. Not even a doctor gets that salary that a president, a government, they get. And we need to understand that we have to fix ourselves before we go outside and fix other people and scream Black Lives Matter. If it doesn't matter in our own house, it will never matter, because you just see the devil is watching very carefully. You know, they are watching. They know what's going on. They might act like they're not seeing it. They know. They have planned it. So it's up on us to fix ourselves, because no one will fix ourselves, not even the Chinese. And it's very scary, the fact that the China and the Western are working hard to enslave, because that's enslaving, trying hard to buy Africa. That's very scary. And we are in trouble. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
Virtue
All
Grace.
right. Thank you. Hmm?
You see, given everything that has been said here, I understand what you must be. I don't know exactly what you're thinking, but I guess you'll be thinking, how does that relate to you now? What do we do? We are on the street. From what I can see, somebody I spoke to yesterday in Nigeria says, now that this violence has started, all those celebrities that came out to say people should go out on the street, if they don't come out and start condemning the violence, he will not have any respect for them anymore. That they now need to come out and start telling people to obey the law and condemn the violence. The country has to be restored, because anger is not going to get us anywhere. You heard what all these people have testified. I've seen things in the last few days that has, man, if you know the passion that is out there outside Africa for Africa, man, you'll be surprised. The people that are willing to come in and transform things there, they are trying to prevent it from happening. That is why you are getting all these events. People need to get back home, because you have to take yes for an answer. The government has told you, yes, we believe what you are saying. I heard a lawmaker talking about how they are going to compensate. They are actually appointing people to start looking into the cases, and they are going to start paying compensation. They are already doing everything that has been asked of the people, that has been asked of the authorities. And one thing I will have to say, that my help, we have to seriously build an immunity against division, because this is how they will get us. We have to build an immunity against division, remain united today and forever. If we remain that way, they will never be able to win. That is their Achilles heel.
Yeah, I don't know that following. I don't think that protesting is the answer. I think that what the brother said earlier here about get yourself some protection, group yourself together, get onto some land, is probably more reasonable, because the people who are in government, even in Canada, one of the government officials here said that they're going to start to roll out a plan where they're going to give people money and they're going to give people stuff like that, but you're going to have to take the vaccine. They have a whole plan that's rolling out in the first quarter and the second quarter, moving towards all of that stuff. So they're going to offer you incentives like money. And so the best thing you can do is what everyone's doing all over the world who's awake, is they're getting themselves some food, they're getting themselves some land, they're getting themselves some guns, and they're going and hiding up in the wilderness. But the one thing the brother here, I don't agree with, we have to cry, but the wonderful two sisters here we're talking about was, you got to cry out to Yah, and you got to seek his face so that he can protect you. Because all of this to the minute right now is prophesied in scripture. The 400 years technically ended in August, and even August of last year. And that's when the coronavirus started. Now all this war stuff is kicking off. It ended in August technically again as well. So all of this stuff is happening because this is the time of deliverance. It's a time of a second Exodus. It's a time of everything changing. And you can't say that's not happening right now, but it's birth pain. So there's going to be blood and there's going to be water. And so it's a time when everybody is going to return home. And the only thing that we're called to do, according to the word, is to hide yourself until the indignation is past. Don't take that shot. And no, don't put any faith in your government. I wouldn't say put any faith in your government because you know who your government's been this whole time. And it's not just about unity in race because your enemies are running your government and they have the same color skin as you. And in Canada and in America and in Britain, we have all our black boulets and mommies and Edomites running everything as well, saying there are people with the same color skin. It's not based on that. It's based on who's the Abantu's people, who are the people of the African diaspora. Those are the people who the whole world is after, trying to kill and experiment on, and who built everything, who built Europe, who built America. And so the only thing
hi, Grace.
Prepare for and hide and understand that this is all false flag stuff. You know, I know you admire Dr. Mumbi, Virtue Grace, and she's like, this SARS thing sounds like it's just like Black Lives Matter. It's a tool that's being used by the enemy to create protests that is capitalizing on the smoke, on the fury and anger that you have towards your government. And they're saying protests will work. It has not worked. It's been over 500 years of the same formulas. We know with Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. We know with Dick Gregory. Dick Gregory said,
nothing to do with that.
You need to stand back and let Yah take control and protect yourselves and hide, because the enemy is coming after you, and stand under the protection of Yah. That's why you look at your two sisters there, Grace. Don't your two sisters down there look like you? One's a slightly, milk chocolatey version. The other one's a darker chocolate version. Those are your sisters. Because it's happening to everybody.
Grace. Hello, Grace.
Yes, I can hear you.
Can I say something, please?
Okay.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say, brother, are you listening to Niger?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. So I know you're a bit concerned about the violence that is coming. But what I just want to let you understand that, don't worry. They will come to the table. They will come to dialogue. The government will come to dialogue. What do they do during election? They go to the people, right, to ask for election for vote, right? They will still come to table to ask for dialogue. Don't worry about that. You will see it very soon. You understand?
Let them ask for election.
So all of this discussion, like I like what
the violence should stop.
What's the solution? How can we get past this?
That is the guarantee that I'm giving to you now. The government will come to dialogue. You will see everything will clear from the street.
They are already dialoguing. They are saying, yes, we are going to do everything you ask, and people are still asking for more. And this is the way it happens all the time. Listen.
I know what the people are doing. That's the reason why I'm telling you now, but you don't see it. They are trying to pressure the administration. They want to pressure the government. They know what they are doing. Later, they will come to table. Don't worry. That is what I'm telling you. You understand? They want to put more pressure on them first.
That's not how it works. If you do that, you are handing your country over without knowing it.
No, listen. I don't want you to have any negative this thing. What I'm just trying to give you my word now to let you understand that they just want to pressurize the government to make sure that they keep to their promises. Don't worry, you will see they will come to dialogue.
See, the That's people what I'm trying are to not in charge. You are under the illusion that the people are in charge. You are not hearing what they have been telling you. The people that are the forces responsible for these things are not the people you are seeing.
Who is the forces? Who is the forces?
The people that want to own Africa, that want to keep Africa down. They are
Brother,
doing
forget
Okay,
about
we
that. I
have
don't forget about
my
that.
God.
yes,
You
You
Congo.
cannot
people
you
need
Thank
to
you.
wake
cannot
up.
forget
Thank you all
Forget
so
about
much.
that.
Yes,
That is
Congo,
not what I'm trying
let's
That's
to.
have
what
your
they
take.
will
We'll
tell
get
you.
back to we'll
Forget
get back
about
to
people.
everyone. PS Congo, welcome.
Hi, hi. Thank you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go on.
Okay.
Yes.
So good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone in the chat. I just wanted to say I'll actually go in to Niger's direction because there are unseen things. Protests are not enough. It's not gonna save Nigeria at this point. You have to know that on one side, that's the way a government works. On one side, they will negotiate and they will give some ease to the people so that people are happy for a time. But at the same time, you have to know that the intelligence services, the Nigerian intelligence services, have surely infiltrated the protests. So protesting at this point is just pointless. There needs to be more. There needs to be mobilization locally at the political level, trying to gradually infiltrate the political class and change the political class. But internationally, we have to work with our brothers, and that goes for everyone, be it African Americans, be you in the Congo right now, be you in um, right now in Cameroon, Namibia, etc. We have to do something. And one of the weaknesses of any government in the world right now is the image. The image of a government is very important for any government, be it for the Trump administration, be it for any country in the world. If you can tarnish the image of a government, and that's why social media is very important, that's why giving out reports, anyone who has reports, pictures, etc., documents, send them to the United Nations. I had a discussion early on with people on the chat. They say the UN is useless. It's not so much the case. You have to know how the organization works. They do reports every year, and these reports, if they're supported by the right people, can actually tarnish the image of a country.
but
Think
they
about
lie
how
though.
apartheid South Africa came down. No, 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 no.
They
These
lie.
are. I know
Everything they
some people
do.
who have worked
What
there. They
they
don't.
did they
No, no,
do
no.
the same thing in
Have
Congo.
you heard about? I'll give you a quick. Yeah, no, no, yo. Are you Congolese? Are you Congolese? Okay. There's a
I am
report called the
Congolese.
mapping report. Yes, I'm Congolese as well. There is a mapping report. Now, it was not touched by the organization for some years, but if you have the right person, you can give traction to it. We have Dr. Mukwege, who actually pushed it, and him being the Nobel Peace Prize actually pushed people, be it in Europe, be it in the government, to do something and to try to punish those who have committed the crimes.
But
So
excuse me,
this is a multi-layer. Yeah, this is a multi. Just one second. It's a multi-layer approach because everything that we will do at this point, everything that Nigerians will do, will be in the eye of the Nigerian government. They will not just stay idle there and let you, for example, uh, just destroy some of their government entities, be it police, be it the government. Protesting will not get you there. You have to have a multi-layered approach, right? So that's what I
Well,
wanted to
so
say
what's
for
the
now.
approach you would suggest? What's one of the approaches you would
Sorry,
suggest if protesting, if protesting
for
would not get the
everyone,
result?
who has
What's the
pictures, who has
please?
document, testimonies, send them to the United Nations, to the United Nations High Commission for Human Rights. If you have a great
Wow.
number of people who are sending their reports over there, you will have something happening.
yeah, but that's
You
the
will have something happening.
excuse me.
That is one thing. But
No, hold on, Ines,
then
hold
there
on.
is something else. You know, if you look at Hello?
Just go on. Yes, go on.
Hello, can you hear me? Yeah,
I can hear
there's
you.
something else. For every West African country, over the last couple of years, be it in the Cote d'Ivoire, be it in the Gambia, if you think about how these countries have changed, they have changed through the pressure of ECOWAS. Now we know that these African governments are useless. But if our African brothers in neighboring countries can protest, make so much noise in their own country, be it in Cameroon, be it in Niger, be it in Benin, in Togo, in Cote d'Ivoire, make so much noise and pressure their own government to act, trust me, because these governments are scared of having upheavals in their own country. If they're forced to act on Nigeria, you will see that Nigeria will be embarrassed and will be forced to act. Image is something very important. Don't neglect it. Be it for the US, be it for the Nigerian government, Buhari has to take care of his image. How will investors come to his country if they know that there is upheaval? If customers will not buy products coming from Nigeria, this will be a problem. In French, we say l'argent est le nerf de la guerre. Money is the nerve through where everything passes. Target the money. What is important for Buhari at this point in time? And hurt him where his pocket is. That's what I wanted to say.
Okay. Regarding what you just said about the UN, I'm not so sure the UN is going to be able to sway Africans right now, because most of the members are in the UN are the ones that are trying to be keeping Africa the way it is right now. So we have to sort our own affairs out. First, we need to get ourselves together and stop the violence, for one. Then we already know the government and the leaders of the protests, which are some of the celebrities and people of this in the communities, are already having discussions to one, to prosecute some of the people that are involved in some of the criminal activities by SARS and compensating the families. I actually saw that one with my own eyes, that they are willing to start compensating the families before the inquiry even ends. And then there are the aspect of creating something to replace SARS. We have to remember there is a reason why SARS existed in the first place. It was because of the 419 and fraud that people talk about Nigeria for. And that is what they came to fight against, to quell that part of this in the angle in Nigeria out. So by and large, on that front, they have had this immeasurable success in that front, but they've gone out of their objectives and started targeting citizens. And for whatever reason that they were doing it, there is no excuse for that, and that's what has led us here now. For the solution is to have the people that engineer this process in the first place to now actually call people to stop the violence and go and start talking to the government, because the government and the House of the Assembly, Senate, they are all discussing this.
Why would they go to the government? Why can't the government come to the people?
The government is coming to the people all the time. The people are on the streets. That's the point.
Where do you see the government come to the people? But during election, they come to the people. But when it comes to dialogue, the people need to go and meet the government.
It's not about
another thing that it really even made people so angry was the fact that people kept saying at least the president should address the people, because during election, just like you said, they go to even the hinter areas campaigning and
in the
asking
villages,
for votes.
market
But
women, they will disturb all of them.
When this thing was happening, people kept saying at least President Buhari should just do a nationwide broadcast and address the citizens, because the concerns were genuine. So people just wanted the president to at least speak and say that reassurance that government is, taking action. The president never did. So the whole anger of people is that why is that the government is not even, the president is not addressing, or the president is not saying anything? Does it mean that we do not matter? This is the same person we voted to serve us. So why can't he come out to speak to us at such a time as this? Which I feel like it's not a difficult demand to make of any democratically elected government.
That's true. That is true.
Let me tell
I
you.
think, and I
Let
think the
me
Buhari. Let me just
let me
finish
tell
this
you,
quick
Grace,
point. Let
bro.
me finish this
Let
quick
me.
point. Hello. I think Buhari,
Yes,
right on
like
time. I never thought he really wanted to be a president. Sometimes when I see that guy, he is always looking at the exit all the time. He seems to want to run out and retire as soon as possible. So that's why this guy was
I'm not
inaugurated.
sure about that.
He was inaugurated and he didn't even make a speech. He just walked away. That guy doesn't seem to care for leadership much. That said, I agree with you. This is a time when we really need leadership. And I think Nigeria is primed for good leadership right now. I believe the next leader, all he has to do is say his fellow Nigerians and everybody will be grateful. Because this guy is like absentee landlord. He's always hiding away somewhere for some reason. I don't know why he's not talking to the people directly. He must have his own reasons, and I wish he did actually. So, but all
Who
I
is
can say
speaking
is
now, please? Sorry. To Niger, you the one speaking?
yes, I think.
Yeah, it's to Niger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
So all I can say now is we just have to stop the violence first, because when we stop the violence, then we can start now reaching solutions. Because countries like Ghana now, if you look at Ghana, the reason why Ghana is doing so well is not because their leaders are just extraordinarily brilliant, because they are reaping the dividends of peace. If you don't have peace in your country, you don't have growth. You have problems all the time. And you see, I understand the frustration, but we need to stop it. The sooner, the better, so we can actually focus on what the real problem is, which is to resolve this nonsense where law enforcement officers go and start treating civilians in a terrible way, just as the American police is treating African Americans. This is happening all over the world, and that kind of attitude where they treat black people so badly, they basically traumatize black people all over the place. So the same thing is happening in Nigeria. That needs to change. That is, and to change it, you need to stop the fighting to do that.
Hello, to Niger. Hello, to Niger.
Yeah,
Let
go
me
ahead.
finish, please.
Yeah. What you said. I may say yes, I accept. But what I just disagree with you is that is not the people that need to go and meet the government. The government need to come to the people. You understand? And speak to them, dialogue with them. You understand? So that is what I believe. Do you know that this problem now, the Buhari have the
Sorry
power to
about that,
stop this
guy.
problem? It's just for him to come out and make nationwide speech, talk to the people. Oh la, a problem.
So does it mean, sorry, my network went off. So does it
Yeah.
mean that the president cannot speak to Nigerians, the same people who elected him? These are the things that really got people pissed off. But hey, the worst has happened. I mean, what could be more worse than the massacre of unarmed citizens at the Lekki toll gate today? And I heard now that the second place where the protesters have been camping, which is at the Alausa, the Lagos State Secretariat, they turned off the light, allegedly turned off the lights again, and the army people are allegedly heading over to that site as well. So I'm just asking people who are there to leave before what happened at Lekki toll gate is going to happen. As I speak with you now, the Ikoyi toll gate is on fire allegedly, and the Lekki toll gate too has been set on fire as well. So those are the things that are happening in the country as we speak. It's really just getting more serious by the
People should go
Sorry,
inside.
sorry.
That's simple. Go ahead.
Mike
Sorry, I have
Mike
a
just
question.
dropped. Mike, let's have a take.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I
Hello?
can hear you, Mike.
Okay, I call
I
in
can hear
to
you.
okay, I call in to respond to that brother from Congo. give advice that that the Nigerians should go to the UN. The Nigerian people should go to the UN. With all due respect, man, that's a very terrible advice. And I have a lot of Congolese friends, even intellectuals. And these people, I'm sorry. I mean, they always annoy me when I sit and have a conversation with them. These people, I mean, I don't want to insult, but a lot of Congolese people have very low mentality. I'm sorry. They always say the same thing. Go to the UN. Congolese people have been relying on the UN for the past 60 years. And their country is supposed to be the richest country in the world. But they are the poorest country in the world. These people, let me tell you about UN. What you need to understand about UN is this. UN is an organization that every black nation need to pull out of quick as possible. The problem of the black race, one of the number one problems is that organization called UN. That's the number problem of Africa, number one, and the Caribbean countries. This organization is designed only to serve the interest of the superpowers, where they call them the Security Councils. In the UN is supposed to be, Fela made a song called The Beast of No Nation. That's what the UN is. It's a beast of no nation. It's a nation that stands for no. It's an organization that doesn't. There's no. They call it United Nation. There's no unit. There's no united. There's no united. Nothing united in the United Nations. In the United Nations, they have something they call Security Councils, and only 5 countries are the member of the Security Council, which means they're the only countries that make decisions, global decisions, and those countries are U.S., France, England, Russia, and China. Those 5 countries make every decision, and all the decisions are only on the interest of those 5 nations. They decide global commodity prices, global financial, everything global. And they make sure the entire organization is all for the interest of those 5 countries. Congo, United Nations is making Congolese policies for Congo for the past 60 years. And Congo Congo is the richest when it comes to natural resources. And because the Congolese people rely on the UN to govern them, to make policies for them, they remain the poorest people. They're looting them. They're robbing our country blind. And for these Congolese guys to come here and say, you guys should go to the United Nations, and are you crazy? Come on, man. Nigerians are not that dumb.
Hold on. Can I respond? Can I? All right.
How are you going to come here and tell me as a Nigerian to go? I'm not, look, listen, man, don't give Nigerians advice. We're not Congolese. We are too smart. You Congolese people need to. I'm sorry to that Congolese lady. I don't want to be disrespectful, but I met too many Congolese, and these people, they are too dumb. I'm sorry, man. I mean,
no. What we're not gonna do here is try to insult names.
No, Mike. Mike, I think you should be calm with the words you are using. That's
not here to insult people.
You can't say that of a whole people. That's actually too harsh. You can't generalize and say Congolese people are dumb. No, that's actually to the extreme.
The way
we can all disagree respectfully. We can disagree with each other respectfully, not being disrespectful in the words we are using. We are all the same people. We can disagree respectfully and still find a way to express our own opinions and our own views, please.
Yeah, they're the most.
Ines, you were going to respond to that. Sorry, Rachel, hold on. Ines, hold on, please. PS Congo. Okay, PS Congo, go on.
Can I respond?
Please go on,
yeah,
PS
okay.
Congo.
Bit of history here. I know, brother, I know you are angry, right? But you don't know about the structure of the organization. I know people who work closely with it. Yes, the Security Council and some of the organs are strictly political and they're strictly pro-Western. But there's a part of the organization that helped countries like Namibia, countries like South Africa. I'm talking about Black South African. If you don't know that, the Secretary General of the United Nations in the 70s, Kurt Waldheim, actually supported Black South Africa, ANC, to have a seat at the table with the international community. Yeah. So there are different parts to the organization. It's complex, and that's why people get angry with me. I've read things that many people have not read. You don't know, for example, that South Sudan wouldn't be a nation today without the United Nations. And it's the non-aligned movement that has given some of us freedom. Actually, suffocated the apartheid government of South Africa. That was because of the nations and the organization, non-state actors. I'm not talking about states. It's a very complex thing, right? But just one thing, a question to every Nigerian brother and sister. Do you seriously think that Buhari has any intention of going towards you? Do you really think that's the case? Because that would mean for him to take a gun and shoot himself in the foot. We have to bring him to the negotiation table. I'm just it's just a piece of advice. If you look deep into what I just said, be it you okay, if you don't want the UN, forget it. But use social media, use different means, try to see where Buhari has himself and
Maybe
and
suggest
his family
African Union.
has
Maybe people will
invested.
hear you when you suggest African Union.
Oh, please, let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish. Huh? Before we go into conclusion about my intelligence, etc. Right? Where Buhari, his family have the interest, where they have the investments, where the Nigerian government actually is actually concentrating their forces. What do they count on the most right now? If you can target that, if you can really, as I said, mobilize yourself, and you would need other Africans. It's not just a Nigerian affair at this point. It's an issue of all of us. Here I'm talking to my Congolese, Cameroonian brothers, to my African American brothers, to my Caribbean brothers. We would need really to share information, sharing information and taking action. That is the point right now. Now you might not agree with me. Those who okay, the brother Mike right now is very angry. He doesn't want to hear about the UN. But maybe if there's a platform, I can share information about some organs, some organizations in the United Nations, because you have to understand the people who work there are not necessarily agreeing with those who are on top. Very important to understand. If you understand this, then you will understand the sense, the meaning of my prior statement, right? There's a lot that can be done. A lot that can be done. Social media is just one of the things. But trust me, sending pictures to news organizations, sending pictures and testimonies is very important, as things are very fresh right now. Protesting, as I said, the Nigerian government is trying to save itself. Some of the protesters are actually agitators. Maybe some of you have seen the pictures of thugs coming into the cars of some of the governors or police officers. They're accompanying
Yeah.
thugs and bringing them on the spot. They are trying to survive. That's why the Nigerian government or any other government that is oppressing our black people will not come to you. Make them come to make them come to you. Make them force them, force their hand. There are different ways of doing it. There are people who are specialists in these matters. These are people that you won't see on social media. They're capable of organizing things in a crazy way. I know some of these people. All right.
They have
Okay, that's
already
all I want
come
to
to
say.
the people. That's all I can say.
Hey,
They've already come
Can
to the
Martin Prince,
people.
let me respond to this. Let me respond.
can I
Please.
say
And
something?
let me just quickly respond.
British
Hold on. Who is
trying to
speaking? Who
speak
wants?
for
Mike.
about
Mike, hold on.
10
Hold
minutes.
on, Mike. I'll get back to you. Rachel, hold on. Ines, you want to say something? Go on.
I just want to say, like, we are all fighting for our rights as black people. We're trying to survive, you know, and black Congolese are not stupid. Nigerians not stupid. It's just we need to listen to each other. One thing that we African needs to do, start listening to each other. Whether you don't agree or you agree, say it respectfully. You can't be cursing people out like that. So one thing I wanted to say is that those organizations, this big organization, at the end of the day, what Uncle said, I agree. with, money is power, money actually will actually make them, to talk and stuff. But at the same time, the the Congolese uncle, I'm so sorry, but you can't always believe a snake. They've been showing us their true face for years, for centuries, that they don't like us. They're not our people. And we can't beg them all the time. That's begging.
Oh,
We
no,
have
it's
all
not.
the
It's not.
resource. Please let me talk. I'll let you talk. But I just want to say, like, we can't always beg them. We have to stand up as a people, show them, like, we can do it our own. Like the way the Gaddafi tried to do, build United States of Africa. I always say, like, unity is the only way. The only way is to be united, to be able to listen to one another. Whether you don't agree with it, just listen. Listen is very powerful. We don't listen. We speak more. We act less. We need to start listening, and we need to start building our own. We cannot let other people come to solve problem for us, because at the end of the day,
All right.
they are our enemies. Period. That's
All
all.
right. Thanks, Ines. All right. Rachel, you want to say something? You've been nodding.
Sorry, let me unmute. Yeah, I think that maybe there needs to be more strategy across black media, again, throughout, like, YouTube and stuff like that, and through organizations like Pan African TV. Media wise, there needs to be some connection, and business wise, I know that there was an announcement recently that a lot of African American women had moved all their money into Black banks. And so there's got to be a way, I was saying this to Ini Tata, there's got to be a way for the people in Africa to access those funds, get loans, to be able to build the infrastructure, build up villages. There's places in East Africa, for example, where Joshua Mapunga talks about how he's offering villages and stuff where there are a lot of gold. There is a lot of gold, and there are mines and stuff. I think if Africans, like you were saying, Libya was trying to do, if you guys, because the American economy is collapsing right now, and it's planned, and the UN is behind the economy, the trading system that's being set up right now between Tanzania and what's the other two nations? My brother, help me out there. It's Tanzania, it's Rwanda, and it's Uganda. UN is behind that, and they're always double dipping. That's how the Illuminati works. That's how the Rothschilds work. They finance both sides of the World War I, World War II, and World War III, and they wait for everyone to fight it out. They like to have this two-sided dialectic going on, this reaction thing. But what we know that, and this is why I talk about Yahuwah, because he's behind his children right now. If you line up with him, you're going to have all of the forces of the universe working with you. And what has to happen is there's going to be a global economic collapse. It's already happening. And I have friends in Africa who are trying to get gold, who are actually doing the gold thing. And I have friends here in North America too, who are trying to set it up so that somehow the currency gets transferred through virtual coins or bitcoins or something into a hard gold currency, so that when the global economy collapses, it's all going to fall into the hands of Africans. And that is what the powers that be know, because the spiritual power, this is why you can't give your spiritual power to your enemy. When you vote for them, when you stand behind them, when you put your faith in them, you are allowing them your spiritual access to the creator. And that's what they're looking for, because they have no power anymore. All they have is themselves. But we have that spiritual power and access to the creator and all the angels right now. And we have the intellectual abilities, and Africa has all the resources. So if there is some kind of economic transfer to a gold standard, which Africa and gems even. Africa has all of it. And if it's somehow practiced through the diaspora abroad, where we can invest in creating a gold standard and gold coins that remain in Africa, so the money remains there, when this Western economy, which is in a planned state of collapse, it's in a planned state. That's why the UN is currently right now behind this stock market that's been set up in East Africa, because they know they're just waiting to catch the fruit when it drops. That's what they do. They capitalize off of chaos and they create it, and then they go in and they harvest once everyone's screaming and dying and being raped and murdered and their houses burned down. Then they come in and they just grab all the slaves and they grab all the money and they use it to build their new economy. So that's what they're doing right now. They're collapsing the US and they're building up Africa, and they're behind it all. So what we have to do is, they know that power switch is taking place. And we know this new world is beginning, and it's beginning through the Abantus people. The Abantus people are the Kodesh, set apart people who Yah has chosen to prosper at this particular time, but there's going to be bloodshed in the birth. But this is one of the strategies. If we can get the diaspora to economically support what's going on in Africa, so that there's a concrete investment, there will be a way to transfer all this. But regardless, I, above all, believe in the second Exodus, and I believe Yah is moving. And that's why you have all these, one of the sisters was saying, there's all these earthquakes, tornadoes, natural disasters, because Yah is fighting for you. And if you spiritually line up with him above everything I just said, then he will fight for you, he will defend you, and this prosperity will come into your hands, because Africa has worked for it, the West Indies have worked for it, all the Black people who built Europe worked for it, and their ancestors who went on to build America worked for it. Our people have worked for it all over the world. And so it's coming into our hands no matter what. Yah said in Genesis 15, I believe, to Abraham, he said, you are going to go into captivity, into a kind of Mitzrayim, under the Amorites, the Americans for 400 years, and you shall serve them. And after 400 years, that nation will I judge, and you will come out with much substance. And the scattering was just completed. That's why you have Africans, West Indians, you have all of the diaspora in America right now, all over the four corners. And there's going to be a return, an exodus back to, it's actually East Africa, Abraham's land. But you have all of these things spiritually on your side. But if we get caught up in what's going on just with us in these small areas of scrimmages, we're going to lose the big picture. Anyway,
all right. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you. Mike, you wanted to say something. Mike, you have the floor.
Yes. Sorry. First thing first, I want to apologize. I kind of got too emotional earlier, and I apologize to my Congolese friends there, my sister, my brother there. I totally apologize. And after I explain what I'm about to explain, now you guys we actually understand why someone will have a reason to be angry. Now, this UN, right? This is the same UN that claimed that they were going to the Congo to do peacekeeping mission, and the CIA used this same UN to set up Patrice Lumumba to be assassinated. Patrice Lumumba, this was the greatest African, the greatest Congolese ever. Now, the same UN sponsored proxy war in Congo for years and destabilized and destroyed this country. Now, not so long ago, we all saw in the news that was exposed that a UN truck was carrying a load of minerals, stolen minerals, to driving, and the truck kind of got an accident and flipped over. And the locals saw that, whoa, this truck was actually stealing from the Congo. So this is the same UN. Now, a UN that has done all that evil in Congo, for a Congolese person now to now come and give a Nigerian an advice that he should let UN to come into Nigeria. So that's why I was upset. Now, he mentioned South Africa. Now, the same UN sponsor dictators all over Africa. Now, he mentioned South African issue. He said the UN were the one that came to that ended apartheid in South Africa. That's a lie. It was actually the Africans that ended apartheid in Africa, because what people need to understand is this: during the apartheid, Africa, that was the first time in African history where all African countries actually came united to fight against apartheid in South Africa. Thank you. Nigeria was even the leading country at that time, where we were. I don't know, I remember where they were actually, the Nigerian government actually taxing Nigerians to raise money for the apartheid struggle, where they were buying weapons and they were training South African ANC rebels and Zimbabwe rebels. And they started in Zimbabwe. First, people understand the Zimbabwe revolution started and they overthrew the whites in Zimbabwe. And they were on their way to South Africa. They were actually about to start a race war where the black were the reason why the whites were oppressing blacks, because the whites had weapons, the blacks didn't have weapons. And the African states raised money, bought weapons, and were harming the blacks. And they were about to start a race war in South Africa before the UN came and intervened to negotiate. And the negotiation they did was terrible, because at the end of the day, what they did, the white actually won, because when they handed over to blacks, every state's institutions were privatized and given to whites. Even the minerals, the mining, the land, everything were privatized and handed to whites. So today, you have a black government, but every institution in South Africa today is owned by whites. So that's UN's negotiation. This is what UN is doing in Africa. Now, a brother is coming here giving me an advice that Nigerians should allow UN to come in and solve their problems. When Nigerians themselves, we've been the victim of the UN in the past, because they've imposed dictatorship on us in the past. And the Nigerian people were the one that rose and overthrew the military, kicked them out, and started democracy. Nigerian people on their own did that, because we have a lot of intelligent people. Today, the civilian government is now doing exactly what the military were doing. And the Nigerians today are rising to check the civilian governments. And somebody's coming here to tell me that we need to invite UN to come in. Well, come on, man. That's why I was upset. So I apologize for my anger, but I had a reason to be angry. I'm sorry. Brother, I have a lot of Congolese friends, and when these guys, when we talk politics, it's like you can't get sense into their mind. Like any of them, I have conversation when I tell them, listen, your country, you guys are having problems because you allow external forces to run your affairs. And France, all these countries don't give a damn about you, man. Stop calling them to come and solve your problems, Unite in Congo and take care of your problem. Because Congo is another country that's very important for Africa to be free. The very important country, very, very important country for Africa to be free. But the thing is, no one hears about them, because I just haven't seen any Congolese since Patrice Lumumba that's actually, had a nerve or balls to stand up and actually say something or do something, So Nigerians, we've always had the people that just always stand up and always, stand up to make sure no one, So I'm sorry, man. I just had to come in and talk like this, but that's what I have to say.
All
Yeah,
right.
just to
All right.
piggyback
Thanks,
on what
Mike.
Brother Mike, just to piggyback on what Mike just said, right? We have to use them. These things are tools for us. We use the media. I'm not saying that the media should start doing anything for us or taking the lead. That's not the point. These are tools. We use a multilateral approach. Yeah. These organizations, if you know how they work, they are not one. It's not one entity where you have political entity, etc. You have people inside, as I said before, who don't like the leadership. And that's the people that I'm counting on. Anyways, we have to use multilateral approach. It's different types of approaches. And just so as I said, as he said, African countries did the most. That I don't deny. But on the economic, on political approach, the General Assembly, that's the body that I will actually talk about. The General Assembly is actually very anti-US, whereas the Security Council is pro-Western. So if you understand these differences, you understand why things have happened throughout history. And if we can use these weaknesses, I'm not saying the UN is our friend. It's more complicated than that. When you see something, and you can use parts of it. Use it, whatever it is. So
Let me ask you a question.
whatever it is.
Let me ask you a
Yeah.
question. Let me ask you a question. You mentioned the General
Yeah.
Assembly and the Security Council. I have a question. If the General Assembly really cares so much about Africans, how come in the Security Council no one has ever supported an African country to be a member of the Security Council? You have a Security Council. You have a Security Council. Have 5 members: France, U.S., England, and Russia and China. So 3 European countries, 1 North American country, which is United States, and 1 Asian country. So he hasn't
Yes.
occurred to anybody that it's unfair that there is no African country or Caribbean country.
Okay.
Let me finish. In the Security Council or South American country, there's no black nation in the Security Council. And you think anybody there give a shit about black people? Now, I keep saying black nations, we just need to understand that no one cares about us. Why are we aligned with anybody? We don't need anybody. We need to get out of the United Nations and we are poor anyway. We are in the bottom. The policies doesn't favor Africa. The United Nations since its creation has not favored Africa. When they come discuss something with you, they may show you this is how they negotiate with Africa. When they all these deals is, we're gonna give you this. When they give you, let's say they'll show you, I like everything they give you, but what they're taking from you is 1,000,000 times more. So there's nothing we are benefiting from dealing with Caucasians or any Asians, anybody. Nobody gives a shit about black people. The bottom line is this: when we're discussing our issues, let's not bring anybody. Let's not bring Europe. Let's just separate ourselves. Africans. Let's get together and solve our problems. Until Africans get to the point where every problem we have will only involve Africans and nobody else. That's the day Africa will begin to free itself from its bondage. Until then, until you start to think like that we do not need any outside forces, any non-black country in our affairs. Until we get to that stage, that mental state, we will never be free, because nobody wants Africa to be free, because the freedom of Africa is a downfall of others. Okay? So answer my question. Why haven't they hasn't it occurred to them that a African country should be in the Security Council? Answer that question.
Then I need to tell you how the Security Council and the UN Charter works. The UN Charter was set up during World War II, and it was set up with these countries. Now they decide, in the structure they decide, but the counterposition is the General Assembly. It's long to explain. I have read so many things about that, but just to go about the point of what you said, not being brainwashed, I agree with you. Malcolm X said we shouldn't be brainwashed, but he used different allies. You mentioned Rhodesia, Zimbabwe. You know that one of the countries that supported, besides African countries, one of the countries that financed ZANU-PF of Robert Mugabe. You know what this country was?
Cuba and the Soviets.
I'll tell you just that. No, not only the Scandinavians, white people. You use whatever you can use. Sometimes you might turn around and say, okay, these are white people. Why should I work with them?
Those countries, they gave fake moral support.
No, they gave weapons. They gave financial support. Actually, one of the prime ministers. Hold on.
Okay. They were trying to hijack the Africans' movements during that time. That's what it was. Okay. They were not giving any support because they saw why did they wait till the Africans started coming with the attack before they come in and say, "Oh no, we're your friends also. Oh, we Scandinavian, we're white people. Oh, we also care." Why didn't they do it before Africans stepped up? It was when the Africans were about to take the destiny in their own hands, and those Scandinavians and all those fake ass friends jumped in and hijacked it. That's what it was. They didn't give a shit, man. When a white man is smiling to you and saying we care about you, we are fighting for you, it's a lie. They're tricking you. Come on, man.
It's not. Listen, what I'm saying here is not trusting the white man or seeing the white man as a savior or etc. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying use any instrument at your disposal. And sometimes that means going through a capitalist, because the capitalist doesn't like the person you're fighting. But it's just temporary. It's just a strategy. I'm here just to talk about strategies. I'm just giving out different options, different possibilities. People don't have to follow them if they want them, if they don't want to. But I'm just suggesting, looking
And
in
that's
the
something to say.
other direction instead of looking in yeah,
You hear me?
looking in different directions. Yeah, I can hear
Y'all
you.
hear me good?
Ah,
Y'all can
yeah, I
hear me?
can hear you.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
I
I
got
can hear
something to
you.
say before I dip out. Now, I understand where both of y'all brothers coming from. I understand where both of y'all coming from as far as using the resources you got to get an upper hand. But I do not agree with the United Nations particularly because those are full of European nations that has assisted in the downfall of the black race throughout history. Throughout history. So I don't trust them crackers. I'm gonna keep it 100. I don't trust them.
I agree. I agree.
I don't wish
I
to work
agree.
with them
I
any longer
agree.
than we have to. We've been working with them for the last 6,000 years. And this is where we've ended up at. Trying not to bust one of their ass. So, with that being said, the reason why I do agree with we have to work with them for a certain amount of time to complete the mission that we have,
Exactly.
I'm gonna say this. Everybody in damn near everybody
100%.
in America is against Donald Trump. Now, I'm not a goddamn fool. And I can see when everybody don't like one person, you fuck with that one person. When everybody don't like this
Please,
person,
please don't
you
Yeah.
fuck
use the
with them.
swear words, please. Please
Because
don't use the swear word.
okay, I'm sorry.
That,
I'm just trying to keep it 100. I got you. I'm sorry. But everybody's against Donald Trump for a reason. And it's because he's not a politician. He's a citizen in the White House who has control over the military. And just like you said, the United Nations is not a savior of the black race. Well, they're not a savior of nobody because they don't care about their own people. And Donald Trump himself is against the United Nations. He's against the World Health Organization. He's against the CDC. And the reason why that's important to black people is because the World Health Organization and the CDC have been covertly genociding African people for over 100 years.
agreed.
Donald Trump is against all of them. And he wants to break away from them. And I want to break away from them too. And after this election, I want to break away from society, get my money right, and use my resources to help people like Africans and African Americans get in a better position. We do need money. We need capital. No matter what you say, we're stuck in a Caucasian capitalistic system, a capitalistic world. And in order to gain full independence, we have to use their resources to gain back control of
Exactly.
our own resources.
But they don't have any resources though.
They don't. They just have their capital, but they've been gaining their capital off of Africa's resources because of those delinquent leaders over there in Africa, those sellout leaders in Africa, and they must be dealt with. They have to be dealt with. They're worse than the Democrats in America, the African leaders. They are. They're weak. And they're in America, they are what you call coon ass niggas. That's what we call them over here. And if they was in America, I'm sorry, we would have dealt with them long time ago. We would have caught somebody slipping at a gas station or something. Somebody got to catch them at a gas station and deal with them. Now, it's I don't know. I don't want to incite that kind of stuff right now. But Africa is in the most detrimental position right now because everybody's already enclosed in on y'all. The Chinese, the French, and whoever else is over there right now, they're taking over Africa covertly. And then you got Bill Gates. Y'all have Bill Gates in the palm of y'all hand, and he should have been gone a long time ago. Bill Gates, no, he can't come back to America. I don't know where he is, but he cannot be seen by a nigga like me because I'm going to catch that body. Straight up. And I hope the world stand up for me and get me out. I'm pretty sure I'll win that one.
Okay, Rachel.
Sorry, let me unmute. I just love the American.
Y'all hear me?
I'm in Canada. Yeah, I just love you guys.
Look, let me show you
Thank
this.
you.
But
You've
This is
succeeded.
what I'm
No,
putting on.
don't show that.
oh, well, go ahead. Finish what you're saying, brother. Oh, I thought you weren't. Okay, he's gone. I was just going to say the main advantage, I agree the UN is wicked. All these organizations are wicked. But the point of this power transition in the spirit realm right now and economically and everything that we know materially, it's like from the top down, is that this brother made the best point of all. And that is that use every strategy, but know who your enemy is. Don't put your faith in them. Put your faith only in your people. Be friends only with your people. Use these devices, but don't put your faith in it. But the most important strategy that the diaspora has right now, the Bantus people, is that those people have lost their power. You've got to know that is, we all know that's what's happening. So trust that you know that. And then what comes out of that in terms of prophecy right now, the red horse is going forth. And so what that means is that your enemies are going to fight with each other. That's what's happening right now.
Yes.
What's happening right now. So you have to, and it's what Dick Gregory said. If you watch a broadcast he did on Trump on, I think it was Roland Martin's channel, there's a clip for it. Look for it. And he's like, all we have to do is stand back and do nothing with respect to them. Because Yah is going to handle it. And if you look all through the scripture, that's how it always happens. They are fighting with each other. They are the 10 kings that hate the whore. America is Babylon. America is the whore. And they are all turning on Trump right now. And everything that is American in Africa right now is what they're all contending for. Because they're all about to go on. And both China and Russia are going into America to take it over. That's what's supposed to happen. That's according to the book of Esdras right now. It literally says Asia and Gog and Magog. They're going to go into America right now, and it's done. It's defeated. Babylon will fall. And so they're scrambling for all the territory in Africa right now to take it over for Europe and to take it over for China. So that's what's happening. And they're going to be fighting with each other and infighting. So the best strategy is do what you can, trust your own people, but also stand back and see the deliverance of Yah, because he's going to make them fight each other. And there's going to be all these natural disasters coming against them at the same time. That's why there's flooding in Europe. There's flooding in America. There's fires. There's fire nados. All that stuff is Yah fighting on behalf of his people. So, I don't totally discount the strategy to try these organizations, but don't put your faith in them. Do what you can. But the best place to put your faith is in your own people with real material strategies and transparency in that. But, you can use a bit of that stuff, but really it's best placed in your own people. And no, your enemy is going to defeat themselves. This whole thing is them defeating themselves because they're now reaping what they've sown. And that's what the whole crocodile thing is. That's speaking to all the African-American babies that were eaten by crocodiles in the South, my dear. That's what SARS is about. They're devouring you. That's what the code word is. That's what Operation Crocodile is about. They're trying to have the dragon devour you. Yes, that's what it is. So anyway, I'm gonna step out. Thank you so much, sis, for having me. I would love to have you on my channel. But we'll see. I have to run, but thank you so much for this, and be encouraged. I'm gonna have some people pray for you, build you up in Yah. May Yah bless you and keep you and cause his face to shine on you. May he be gracious, lift the light of his countenance, and give you peace, root you and ground you in love and strengthen you. In the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. And sister, it was so nice to meet you, my British sister. I don't know your name. I didn't catch it. But if you'll friend me through my channel, I would love, through Live Light Well or Into All Truth. I'd love to hear from you again. Yes.
Oh.
My British sister, just so peaceful, everything you had to say. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. And thank you guys for everything.
They're asking what's your channel. They're asking what's your channel.
Oh, it's Live Light Well. I've got two of them. So I'm chatting with this one, Live Like Well, down here.
Okay, so you can drop
I
it
just said
there.
hi, guys, and I guess I can put the link in there somewhere. Let me find it. Sorry, guys. I'll put it in 2 seconds. You guys keep talking. I'll just put it in and then I got to run. But thank you so much, love, Grace. I'm so sorry for you and your real stuff that's going on.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming and for adding to the conversation. Thank you. Ines, it was your hand up. PS
No.
Congo. Does anybody have anything to
Yeah,
add?
just want to say
Okay.
maybe the brothers and sisters just now said it better than I did. They expressed it better. I'm not saying we should put our faith in these things, in these bodies, just using whatever. When there is a war, when there's a fight, you use whatever is at your disposal. That's what I'm saying.
All
That's all I
right.
want to say.
Thank you. All right. Mike.
Okay. The best weapon the Africans can utilize, and the best, I can say, the only weapon is the unity, man. The unity of the people. Kwame Nkrumah said it over and over and over again. You know, it's a unity, and great African mind, great African philosopher. Any philosopher will tell you, listen, once you Africans unite, no forces can take you down, man. You know, you unite and you dump, you retrain your mind back to being African and stop practicing Western ideologies and Western culture, Western philosophy, Western things, Western that you've adopted. You need to throw it away. You know, Western religion, get rid of it. Get rid of white Jesus all over Africa. We don't need that nonsense, man. You're destroying the minds of your children, because when your child is growing up, you put a picture of a white man. You say that is God. How do you think he's going to grow up when he sees a white person? He would think that white man is God. He can barely, when a white man tells you something, you do it. Jump, you jump. See, you see it, because it's a mental, it's a psychological thing. You've grown up seeing that image as your God. Your God looks like him. So when he tells you something, you do it. That's why your leaders, when Europeans tell them something, they do exactly what they say. You know, so we need to go back and find out who you are, man. Go back to your spirituality. You know, go back to, that's powerful enough. Go and read ancient history. The slaves in the Caribbean, they use their Asian power to free themselves. The first black nation they ever created was Haiti. They were slaves for so long until their back was against the wall. They were like, okay, what's left? And a woman that was a queen, that was she was one of the Amazon warriors from the Benin Republic. She knew that she had so much knowledge of the African nature, and she knew what it takes to free the slaves, to actually defeat the slave masters, the enemies. And she had a son, so she took it upon herself. I'm going to train this son. I'm going to give him all those knowledge, all that knowledge, equip him, and he's going to be the one to free the people. And his name is Desalegn. And this woman, I'm talking about a slave taken from Africa. She trained a child that was born in a plantation. She gave him African knowledge, roots. If she trained him voodoo, she gave him knowledge. And this guy used that knowledge to free Asians, to defeat the French on the plantation. Not only defeat the French, defeat the British as well, defeat the Spaniards. So we Africans, we just don't know ourselves. That's all. My advice to Nigerians: unite. Stop. Unite. This is what you need right now. Just unite. No forces can take you down. Unite. Igbo, Yoruba. See, we have things that we don't know that we have. So we need to look within ourselves. And we're the only solution. There's nothing outside Africa that can save Africa that's interested in saving Africa. So we need to forget it. We need to forget this trying to be diplomacy. No. If you want something, look within yourself and go for it. That's my advice for Africans. And as you can see, just a tiny unity you see in Nigeria among the southern youth. Look how much they were able to do. Can you imagine a complete unity among Africans? Imagine how much you can do. So, my best advice is people should unite, and see that, love their Africanness. Well, anyway, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. To Niger.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I would like to second what the last two speakers have said about making use of whatever you have to reach your own goals. Because I think it was this Shaka that said something about one will be a fool. That's a leopard will be a fool to refuse wings if he was offered one. So whatever advantage we can use, we have to use it wisely. But most importantly, we have to rely on ourselves. Um, when you have been in a world where you hear people come out openly to testify that they were commissioned to develop a biological weapon to destroy Africans more than two times, you are in a world where people that are alive today were once part of a mob group that lynched an African American person and take body parts home as trophies. They are still alive today that did all those things. We are in a world where our own governments don't defend us. Everywhere we go, we are being brutalized. I can forgive black people for losing faith in humanity and want to crack the world in half. But where we are right now, we just have to, like everyone said, have faith in each other. No matter what happens, we have to start building immunity to division. Because, like what happened here earlier on when somebody insulted one of us, and the rest said, "No, you are not allowed to do that." We want to start building that, become stronger and stronger. That no matter if they try to foster division among us, we should always reject it, always, 100% of the time. And when we do that, it will be extremely hard for them to get to us. And sooner or later, all these forces that are leeching off our backs, if they see the glint in our eyes that we are now together, and if they don't let go, they are going to face the consequences of our wrath. Then that is the only time in this world you have room to breathe. You have to earn it. You have to show them, if you don't stop this, we are all going to go down. And unity is how we can do that. And I must say, I'm one of those people that has been very optimistic about the future of Africa and everything, and hoping that nothing was going to happen. But these events really, really shook me. Because there is no other country that is so incisively chosen to thwart any dreams Africans have. Nigeria is at the core. If they destabilize our country, all hell will break loose in West Africa, and it's going to spill all over the African continent. The African Free Trade Area, all the good work that has been done in the past decades, all be for naught. So I will encourage everyone, all our African American brothers, all the diaspora in Brazil, in Central America, all over the world, we all have to always stay united. If we can pull our resources together, we should do that. Whenever we have a chance to pull our resources together, we do that. Like someone said earlier on, some women, the African and American women were joining black-owned businesses, things like that. We have to start supporting ourselves because nobody will. It's just simple. Nobody will. And it's not because they hate us inherently. It's just because we have been given so much. We are the firstborns. We have some of the most beautiful continent around. We have been strong for a very long time. And this is another thing I wanted to highlight. You see, the problems of Africa, we think it has been around for thousands of years, but it just was 500 years ago. For all of history, Africa has never been subjugated like this. All of history. This is the first times Africa has had to go through all these things. And we are going to come out on the other side. Because it just seems like we are not doing that well. I see we are. But I just feel this thing that is going on recently is just extremely dangerous and it's going to take us backward. Hence why I'm very apprehensive. But we will make it for sure.
Mhm.
We will. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Ines?
Yeah, everything I wanted to say, everyone said it when it comes to unity, loving ourselves more than we love our white Jesus. We love that Muhammad. Um, we need to unite because unity is the way of getting the power back that we had back in the day. So, and just know that they are not our brothers, they are not our sisters, they are our enemies, they are murderers, they want us down. So, it's up on us to, to uplift ourselves, like one of the Bob Marley songs said, you know, take that slavery mentality out of our minds and be the bravest kings and queens we used to be in the past. And we should believe in ourselves that if we were able to build those big pyramids, castles in Europe, we can still do it. If we were able to, you know, make those maths, physics, we were able to teach maths and science and big technologies, we can still do it. It's just unity. It's just to lift one another. It's just to listen to one another, not insulting, but listen to every single point everyone is gonna make. Because we are brilliant. We are they need us. Like someone said, Africa don't need them, but they need Africa. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say.
All right. Thank
All right,
you.
I'm gonna
Thank you,
jump in real quick.
Mike. Yeah,
I'm gonna
go
say
on.
my piece before I end. I want first I apologize for but yeah, that's pretty much where the black race is at this point. Where the world is everything is riding on. Unfortunately, everything is riding on this U.S. election. And if it don't turn out the way we want it to turn out over here, unfortunately, it's a lot of black people against each other over politics over here. A lot of people don't know how to use discernment, and people need to start using discernment and being wise about their decisions. Um, and most of all, need to put politics to the side completely and just come together as one race of righteous people, black people, to get ourselves back into the greatness we supposed to be in that was robbed from us. And I think people are starting to gain back sight of that. Unfortunately, it took for the whole world to lock down, to slow down, and catch everybody's attention. But eventually, we have no choice but to win. That's the only way it can be, and that's the only way it will be. It'd be best if we could do it without having to go to a war per se, but it's not going to be easy, but it's getting closer. And I want to end with this. Don't let nobody, no African American, no African, don't let none of them try to convince y'all that the black people over here in America have forgotten about y'all over there. You know what I'm saying? We have not forgotten about y'all. We still got we got nothing but love for y'all, and we want to make it over there just as bad as y'all may want us to come back. And when righteous people like myself and like y'all and everybody else who feel the same way, when righteous black people like us come together, it's gonna be a sight to behold. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got, network. If anybody got any means to, donate to people over there in Africa, like, because the US dollar is value more than what y'all currency may be valued. You know what I'm saying? If anybody from US can send a $25, $30, $50, whatever they can spare to somebody trusted over there like you, Virtue. You told me about the PayPal or the Cash App or something like that. I don't know if y'all can get Cash App, but if you could get a Cash App and figure that out, that'd be a good thing. That'd be a good look, because Cash App is like one of the easiest ways for people to transact money digitally. So I don't know if it's compatible over there. If you could look it up and share that on your social media platforms. A lot of Americans are willing to, you know what I'm saying, just throw money over there so y'all can stack that up and do what y'all got to do with it over there. You know what I'm saying? We got to work together. And I'm personally gonna try to work my way over there. I'm trying to get some money, and when I get my money, I'm coming over there too. And somebody gonna do something. And another thing, Virtue, I don't know, maybe you could try to reach out. There's a brother named Young Pharaoh over here. I don't know if you heard of Young Pharaoh, but you could hit him up on IG. That's my boy. We just went to go to one of his lectures this weekend. It was hectic as hell, but you know what I'm saying? It came together, and I actually met him for the first time, and I think he's a real solid dude. If you could reach out to Young Pharaoh, he's always willing to chop it up and connect and network with anybody over there in Africa who willing to work with him. And you know what I'm saying? He's getting a lot of attention over here in America too. So a lot of young black people, a lot of grown black people is following him, and he's spreading that Africa consciousness too. So yeah, with that, I'm just a messenger. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, your platform bigger than mine. I'm just a messenger. We love y'all over here, and don't worry, don't panic, don't worry, don't panic. Just prepare, and you know what I'm saying? Watch your step, be careful, and keep doing what you're doing. And with that being said, I'm gonna be out. Love y'all, all right?
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate you. Appreciate the support. All right. So that will be it from me. Thank you. I don't have Cash App. I don't know if that works here in Nigeria. I really don't know what I use. I do PayPal. So I'm dropping. I really didn't want to drop it today. Virtual Grace blog.
Bye, Grace. I gotta go.
Gmail. All right, thanks so much, Ines. Thank you for coming. I appreciate all of you for joining in the conversation, for the support, and the perspectives you've brought to the conversation this night. I actually feel better now that I've had these conversations with all of you. I'm going to head now to bed. It's almost 12 midnight. This is 11:35, so I'll be off. Thank you so much. I'll keep you updated if there's
Have a
any
nice one, Grace.
breaking story. What? PS Congo? Okay.
Yeah, have a nice one, Grace, and don't worry, things will be okay. God is looking over us, all of us.
Yes, he is.
Take
He
care.
is. All right. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys probably tomorrow because there's curfew and nobody goes out tomorrow, so I'll be home. And there's need for any stream again, I'll do it just to update you guys. Thank you all so much. I love all of you. Thank you. I will stay strong. Thank you. Good night.